I need to say this to homosexual men in the world. I do not hate you. I am saying this bedridden, looking up at my ceiling, unable to move. Praying to God they don't gas me again in this terrorist cell. So I hope this is a testimony to how much my words that I use on the internet caused me to want to say this now to homosexual men. While I was being nearly executed yesterday on video, which has caused me to be physically unable to get out of bed today, I went after homosexual men in one of my emotional outbursts because I remember these homosexual men in Washington, D.C. and in Castro, San Francisco. I almost was attacked on the street in Castro, San Francisco by a whole bunch of gay men. And it got even more scary when I went into a cafe to get away from them. It got even more scary in there. There was these drug dealer gay men that came in, and they were getting really aggressive, and the whole place was packed with gay men, and I was in a lot of trouble in there, and I can say the rest of the story later. But then a whole bunch of San Francisco cops came in, and they're not cops, they're the good guys. That's how we've been operating this for years. In DC, it's not cops, it's the evil military. You understand what I mean? They wear police clothes. The good guys don't wear police clothes here. If I am mistaken, correct me, but it's a rare instance they would do that. This is straight up, the battle lines are drawn in DC. The DCPD and the US feds are the bad guys. They put me in this physical condition I'm in. It's by the grace of God that I'm alive to even stare at my ceiling. They are gassing me in here and try to execute me on film. Okay, so in San Francisco, the SFPD came in, and they were looking at me and they were looking at these drug dealers, and I just got out of there. I got out of there after about 10 minutes, and I went straight to the subway. And I walked through Castro. It was about 2 blocks to get to the subway. I was so fucking scared. I will never forget how scared I was when I went into Castro. They knew me in Castro. They recognized my face and knew me, and they were incredibly on the verge of violence, even after I had left the cafe. It was really scary. I'll never forget it. There's much to say, but let's move on. And then, so I went to LA. I didn't have a lot of negative experiences with homosexual men. Not that I can even think of. No homosexual men were causing me to have a negative memory that I can still remember to this day. Nope. Except I remember not being able to get any work and having the American public just bash me on the sidewalks. I'll never forget what the population, the citizenry did in the United States. I'll never forget it. Being harassed on the beach. I'm just trying to walk in the waves. I was trying to walk my bare feet in the waves. I'm being harassed by gangbangers. They are approaching me. So that was years ago. That was before I moved in here. And it just got worse and worse and worse in the United States. When it came to DC, I started to be harassed right out in the open by gay men. I'd be in the Library of Congress being harassed by gay men. A Latin gay man, I'll never forget him. I'm going to be a published author. I basically published but I know I'm on my way, you know? And he was harassing me in the Library of Congress, saying I was crazy, insulting me, and all the cops in the front door were harassing me. I was so harassed to the nil. I'll never forget it. I still want to cry. It was so horrible. And I documented it on Twitter, so I know that the agents will be able to recover that because Donald Trump deleted that account. But it's off the record. The agents are on top of that. These are the best in the biz. They knew that Donald Trump was going to get his hands on my Twitter account. So everything I put up there is all criminal evidence. Because on Twitter, it's the testimony to that murder I witnessed upstairs. So it's just massive criminal evidence is on that Twitter account. And that was one reason why Trump was hot to trot to make sure it was deleted. But ever since I came here, the harassment got worse and worse and worse by just flat out in the open harassment by gay men. And to the point where they started to be almost physically violent towards me, like in Castro, just when I'm taking my garbage out. I'm cautious of gay men here that they might physically assault me. The gay men here, I didn't know they were like that. Like, I remember gay guys in New York, and I remember gay guys in San Francisco. Oh, I'm so sorry, I misquoted. Gay guys in New York and gay guys in Seattle. And these gay guys in Capitol Hill, there was that definite crowd that was really nasty and that you didn't want to hang out with. They hated women or something was wrong with them. But there was always these really nice gay guys that I remember growing up, really nice gay guys, okay? They're just gay. You don't really think about them. They're really nice guys. And same in New York, you know, you'd be commuting home with them. They're just nice guys. They're reading the paper. I only wanted for them to get married and have rights. I liked them. They weren't trying to physically assault me and degrading me and shouting horrible things at me because I'm walking on the sidewalk with them. And it got so bad in the Capitol, Washington, D.C., that there was a group of gay men that lived across the street. Once that building had been constructed, that was built by the Mexican drug cartel. It has a tunnel that goes back and forth from this compound to the, I think the heroes shut that tunnel down. But there was a group of gay men that I'd said they were dressed like skinhead Nazis, and they would have picnics across the street while this house was engulfed in cooked human remains. Don't forget, everybody, I witnessed prolonged duration of cannibalism inside of this property. It's why I have a speech impediment from traumatic events. The speech impediment will go away. I believe this is coming to an end because of how they tried to publicly execute me on Instagram. I believe this terror cell is starting to come to an end. I think there was a reason, I don't know what it was, that prompted these terrorists to take such drastic action. And the poison they used so much of it. I can't even hardly get out of bed today. I'm still sweaty. I go from chills to really hot. The things that have gotten better is that my muscles are not really bad. The pain threshold from my muscle pain from just getting all this poison, chemical, gas, lethal poison out of my body, the pain threshold from my toes to my hands, just from every part of my body that had muscles, was pain threshold 4 out of 1 through 5. I was in such incredible pain from what these monsters did to me. I'm still bedridden. But I know I was going off emotionally and making statements about homosexual men yesterday because I'm really angry at them. And I did it while I was filming a historic public execution. Those videos are historic, and I know it, and I have to correct the misunderstanding that I have caused. Gay men are not evil. There's something going on with the gay men here. I strongly believe it has to do with the Mexican drug cartel and crystal methamphetamine. I strongly believe it has to do with the pornography industry. No, when you say that, you don't think of all the gay men in the world. No, you think of so many gay men that are scared of other gay men that are like that. Well, these gay men that are like that have taken fucking power in the city of our capital. And I'm frightened of them too. When I see them coming, when I'm taking my garbage out, I'm scared of them. They are known to be very physically volatile towards me on the sidewalk, and they yell horrible shit at me all the time. Along with other intimidation and harassment that they do every time. If I'm on my porch or anywhere I am, they're gonna do it. It's really, really, really scary here. So I just want to get that clear, okay? What I want for America is that gay people get married. Like, you gotta have that. You cannot deny someone the rights to marriage. It's mostly for legal. Like, you cannot. But then no. The avant-garde, the fringe culture, you want to call it that, cannot go running into Orthodox churches. I mean, what is going on with that? There's not going to be any rights to go invade the Orthodox churches. You're already fringe culture, but you have the right to get married, you know? Some people are more conservative. I mean, I'm pretty liberal, but people at the Orthodox churches, because I go to Catholic church, or I did until the Pope was appointed. But people at the Orthodox churches, I mean, what the movement here did in the United States was so evil. They made people not like gays, because that's the gays that were doing it. These gays having picnics. These gay men having picnics outside of a fucking cannibal-ridden terrorist cell. Historic, where they used gas and tried to publicly execute someone. Me. Tried to publicly execute me on fucking video. You had gay men eating picnics across the street. So they made gay men look really bad. I know, okay? That's why I'm saying this. It's going to be my last video. I'm down to minute 13. I have to hang it up. I know when I can go back online, but I can't say. But I want the world to hear this. I am not after gay men, and they have the right to get married along with gay women. It's one thing no one will ever take from you. And you have the right to not feel scared when you walk down the street. No one's going to pick on you because you're queer, okay? I'm sorry to say these words, I probably messed up. You cannot do that to people. Pick on them. Okay, and I'm just going to go, but I really wanted to say this. I'm laying here, I'm all sweaty and clammy, and I can't move, and it mattered that much to me. Goodbye.